Thank you, Larissa. Meanwhile, we've made it into the kitchen with our first guest, who is here to make a cheesy risotto stuffed eggplant rollatini that will serve as the perfect comfort dish for this weekend's festivities. She is the author of What's Gaby Cooking? Welcome back to our home, Gaby Dalkin.
Thank you. Good to see you.
We haven't seen you since before the new year. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
I know. Joining Cameron at the counter. He's ready to dig in. I can see. Paige, Ken, and LZ, get to it.
I am ready.
Get to it. This is really
Get in there.
This is, you know, comfort food, but it's also sort of healthy. I'd have to say.
Healthy-ish. Yeah. I'm not mad. We always just throw an ish up there.
Not mad at it.
Well, the eggplant.
There's healthy
that's
aspects.
So before we even get started on it, what exactly is a rollatini?
So a rollatini, this is basically any kind of vegetable you can roll up and stuff with risotto. At least that's my definition of it. And so today we're doing it with eggplant. You could also do it with zucchini. I'm trying to think of what else you could slice
That's
into
flat and roll.
Yeah,
But you could probably do it with a cucumber, but you wouldn't be able to cook it, would you?
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah, it'd be a cold rollatini.
You could do it with pokey and a cucumber
and cream cheese or something.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. We'll make it up for the next time. All right, so we start with our delicious risotto.
Yeah.
So how do we make the risotto?
Okay, so there are a couple keys to a risotto. First thing we're going to do, we're going to start with shallots and some garlic, and this is just sautéing in some olive oil. Yeah, you have that.
There you go.
We're just going to stir that up and let it get fragrant. It takes like no time. You don't want to burn the garlic or anything. You want to grab the rice?
Sure.
So this is our Borio rice.
Okay.
Just go ahead and throw it right in.
And you toast this before you put the other liquids in. Why?
Yes, and it's important because toasting the rice gives it a little bit of extra flavor, and it's going to lock in all the other flavors, right? I mean, it's very flavorful.
Yeah.
I like how you're looking at me like I knew that already.
I know.
I appreciate
could
that,
tell you
Gaby.
did.
Yes, no.
You make risotto every night at home.
And doesn't it keep it from getting mushy too?
Yeah,
if you cook
and
it
that
too long?
right, because you're going to add a lot of liquid to this, and it's just you can't. And then grab the wine.
Okay, so we pour. Does it matter what kind of wine?
Yes, I'm into a dry white wine. So
Okay.
like usually a Sauv Blanc, a Pinot Grigio is fine. I tend to stay away from a Chard because I think you don't want it to be oaky.
Right.
Unless it's a non-oaky Chardonnay. I'm learning all about wine these days.
Oh, it sounds like you
My husband's taking some like online class.
sommelier class, I was going to say.
And I get all the rewards. Anyway, so the way risotto gets all of its flavor and everything is through the wine, the stock, and later we'll talk about cheese, but we're gonna let the wine evaporate entirely.
Okay.
And then once it does, we're gonna add about a half a cup of the stock at a time.
Can you always use chicken stock?
You could use chicken stock, you could use vegetable stock. A lot of people warm it up. I actually don't when I make it at home because it's just an extra pot to clean.
Right.
But like this isn't my kitchen right now, so it's okay.
So we did it for you.
Smart girl.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
You're not
right.
cleaning.
This is
you
my
go ahead and warm it
favorite
up.
place to cook. So once the wine's all evaporated, we'll just add a little bit of this at a time, and you can turn the heat down to medium, let it evaporate, and keep going until it's absorbed all of the liquid.
How long?
Probably about 20 to 25 minutes.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to season it with salt and pepper. You can like FaceTime someone and just like stir every
Right,
once
because
in
you
a
kind of
while.
have to sit on. Yeah, you have
but,
to
like,
watch it.
Watch TV.
Right.
And then we'll add a little bit of cheese. So Parmesan and mascarpone goes in here
Oh.
before it comes over here.
So that makes your risotto better than anyone else's.
Pretty
It's
much.
a little fancy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So then, while we let this sit and cool for a minute, we are going to make our eggplant. So how did you prepare the eggplant?
So the eggplant, I just sliced it really thin, about a quarter of an inch, and you're gonna salt it, like heavily salted on both sides, and that kind of takes away the bitterness and the moisture. So when you cook it over just like some olive oil on the stove, it doesn't get like, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's still
it
a
gets
little
yucky.
crispy, like on the edges.
Yeah, the eggplant or
nice.
the risotto?
The eggplant.
Yeah. Because I'm a professional.
Because you're amazing.
Because she went to
That's why she's
culinary
here.
school.
That's why she's here.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now we build.
Yeah, so you wanna do one?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Do you have
Need
an
a spoon?
extra
Sure.
Yeah, grab an extra spoon. So we have two things of eggplant. Like I said earlier, you could do it with zucchini, and you just want to take like a couple tablespoons, not more than a fourth of a cup of the risotto, put it on one side.
Yeah, don't overstuff, right? Because then it gets crazy.
Yeah, and you want it to look pretty because you'll Instagram it later, right?
Right, exactly.
And then you just roll it up. And you'll want to keep it seam side down when we put it in here.
Oh, look at
this
that.
already has marinara sauce in the bottom of it to give it like a nice juiciness to
So
it.
just your favorite marinara.
Yeah, whatever store-bought. I mean, if you're going to make it yourself,
Go to it.
feel free to invite me over. That's amazing. And then you keep it seam side down so it doesn't cut, like it doesn't explode or anything while it's in the oven.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna top it with a little bit more marinara.
What a fun recipe.
It's fun, right? It's like great, and it's like freezing everywhere in the country
Oh my gosh,
right
you're
now.
not kidding. And it's unexpected.
Yeah, it's unexpected, it's comforting, it's not gonna take you forever. And if you happen to have leftovers, it's almost better the next day.
Ooh, because all the flavors come together.
Yeah.
So good.
And you could do this, like this is the Parmesan mascarpone risotto, but you could do this with mushroom risotto. You could put like some pesto in it. Risotto takes on pretty much every flavor. And it's easy. Like risotto doesn't have to be intimidating.
No, actually, it's not. It just takes a long time. So I think people
have
hear the
something
word
to do.
risotto and they
Yeah.
become. I mean, but you're kind of obsessed with risotto. I know this. It's become an obsession.
obsessed.
When
Well,
did this obsession start?
In culinary school, because I
Gaby,
had
this is your life. Tell us.
I had never had it before, and I was in culinary school, and my teacher was like, everyone's making something new. I was assigned risotto. I was like shaking, terrified, and I killed it. I was so good. And I make it like once a week, different flavors. Like any special occasion, if you're coming over, it's risotto.
That's the title of your book, My Risotto Destiny.
Yeah.
So then we put this in the oven for how long?
So we put it in the oven for about 25 minutes. You just want the cheese on the top to melt. Thank you very much. And this,
beautiful.
right? So
Yeah.
everything's warmed up now, and we'll just top it with. You want to put some?
Yeah, sure.
First, you
more
need one
cheese?
Just more. Why
Oh,
not?
why not?
I mean, it's left over.
You know, exactly. You don't
And
want it to go to
then-
waste. There you go.
Perfect. And then we'll top it with some basil. You could also do chives. Like if you want rosemary, thyme would be good. And that's it.
Yeah, but as you're plating that, I want to ask you, Gaby, about your
Yeah.
recent trip to Patagonia, which looked absolutely amazing. I mean, the
Thank you.
mountains and everything. Those photos I saw were incredible.
Thank you. It was epic.
Oh
so
my
every year,
goodness, look at that.
Look at that's glacier water. It's so blue. So every year since we were kids, my parents take us on this surprise trip, and we get clues leading up to where we're going.
That's their
gosh,
Christmas
how
gift.
fun.
That's my husband. And this year, Thomas, my husband, look at me. I'm a professional ice trucker.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not
You look
looking-
like it.
I do.
I can tell.
And the
So,
selfie taker. Yeah.
so my husband figured it out, and we were in Patagonia. We were there, and one of our hotels, which actually coincides with this perfectly, had a risotto of the day.
Oh, how funny.
I am fully made of carbs and meat right now. There's no vegetables in this bod.
Oh, there's eggplant.
There's
Yeah, we got some
basil.
veggies right here.
Don't worry about that. Gosh, what a trip of a lifetime.
It was pretty epic. I would highly recommend it.
Oh,
well,
Gaby.
even just surprise vacation. Everybody should do that.